coming to you from the Healer's Lounge. The Healer's Lounge is a place for us, where we belong. This is a place where we can kick it. A place to chill. Keeping it classy. With a little bit of hood, and a whole lot of universe. Making his indigo mind, body, and soul known to you virally from the spiritual side of my matrix. He will be your mediator for the halves and the have-nots. Here, we believe everything happens for a reason in divine timing, and with divine guidance. And now, here is your host, J. P. A.
Okay, so hello, what's up? Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for chilling with me. Okay, so as it says in the title, it's just a little bit about me. I really didn't want to do this part of the video only because I don't like talking about myself unless I really have to. And today is one of those days where it's like, okay, I have to. So one of the first questions is, well, before I get started, I want to clarify, or I want to get some, stuff mentioned and clarified. At first, I really want the audience to know who I'm going to be speaking with and, what kind of channel this is. So first of all, I know that there's going to be youngsters and there's going to be, young adults and there's going to be older people, but I want to keep it cool and fresh and just like without any vulgar language, only because I know that there's family people and I know I'm going to be speaking to youngsters and the youth and men and women, but just because I'm going to be, talking to a vast variety of people, I really don't want anyone to think that I'm going to be, speaking vulgarly or I'm going to be, mentioning any bad words. No, I really want this healing lounge section to be, a little bit more on the kosher side. And for the young ones, if you don't know what kosher means, it's like to be more on the blessed side, to be on the more on the righteous, on the good side, or on the holy side, or type of thing. So I just wanted to clear that before I got started. So the first question is, so why the about me video? It's knowing the practitioner means a lot when it comes to energy exchange, and sometimes people don't understand about like energy or even if they do, right? Because I'm sure that if you're tuning in by now, if you're maybe one of my 4 subscribers out there, then you're probably interested in something about healing, or if you're called or if you're pulled or for some reason you happen to be in this channel. I wanted to clear of what I am, who I'm about, and on who the practitioner is. Once they know the practitioner, and it could be any kind of practitioner. One of my superiors, one of my teachers that mentioned a lot had really said, one of the questions was like, does it really matter? Like, who is going to receive the energy? Who's going to, and she's like, absolutely. Like, it really does matter who the practitioner is. At the time, it's like, what? Like, it didn't kind of make sense. Why it matters is because I remember she was like, do you really, honestly, really want the healer that's about cursing people and saying bad things and cursing left and right and saying yes, telling to your face, oh hi, how are you doing, nice to meet you, how are you? And then when you turn around your back, or when you turn around, she talks smack behind your back, and it's like, talking about, oh, I can't wait till I go home and till I start cursing, or I start putting all kinds of evil spells and negative energies to that person. And it's like, do you really want to work with somebody like that? Do you really want somebody in your life to teach you and to guide? Do you really want somebody like that? It really made me think too. It's like, yeah, she, with time, and I got to thinking like, wow, she really is right. It really does matter what kind of vibration the practitioner, the healer, it really does matter to an extent. Other people, light healers, might say, no, it doesn't really matter. But it just depends on who they are. But at least the way I was taught is that it's a way of life. It's who you are as a person that really matters the most, because one deals with or the practitioner, or in this case me, it's like dealing with minds, bodies, and souls, that it's a serious thing. It's not something to be taken lightheartedly or something to be taken like jokingly, because you're dealing with people's lives. And anytime anyone, especially myself, I want to include the importance that me dealing with anyone's life is very crucial. So I'm very serious on in what I do and how I do things, especially when it comes to energy healing work. My type of healing work deals with the mind, it deals with the body, and it deals with the soul and the spirit. And so anytime any of those three, even if it's one of the three, even I'm sorry, even one of the four, because there's dealing with the emotional issues as well. But even dealing with one of them is like a really important issue, and who you are really counts. It really says a lot about what type of person you are and what type of work you're gonna do. Maybe others might not see it that way, but that's how I was taught. Manifesting these super cool, super ancient healing techniques that are like that I'm modernizing them. They've been very in the ancient ways, and I was taught in the old school ways, but I'm putting a little twist to modernizing it and making it like enhancing it, making it better. In my work, I deal with energy work, which is a metaphysical work, which is quantum quantum energy, which I deal with for those that are non-religious and are more into like Darwinism or more scientific, and you're tuning in, it's like I deal more with rife energy and rife frequency and scalar energy, which I use for the mind, the body, and the soul. Again, I just consider myself the mediator, the one who provides it. It's the recipient who receives it, and ultimately, for those that are spiritual, those that are like of higher knowledge, the ones that are picking up and that pick up on vibes, that deal with energy healing, or are familiar with any of the healing energies. I deal with the higher vibrational energies, which is like your higher self, your higher energies, your own are angels, whoever you resonate with, and whatever culture you're in, and whoever you believe with, and whoever you pray to. Those are the ones that will work with you. They'll see the energies, they'll work with the energies, and they'll allow, if you're ready to use those, if you're ready to accept it. And those are the kind of energies and the type of the work that I deal with. And so that's something that I'll be talking about more and more in depth with the more videos I upload, the more I talk about what I sell and what I'm selling. And I'll clarify that. The more time goes on, I'll talk about more about that. Another question is let me see, what's the other question is, where am I from? Well, I was born and raised from Los Angeles, California, and I'm currently in the Pacific Northwest. So yeah, it's like in right now Los Angeles, and it's been like that for years now, where it's like LA is known for like the mecca of spirituality, of the spiritual movement. And of course, like any other town, like any other city, you have the good with the bad. There in LA, in the suburbs that had turned into, with time, the more time had passed, into turning into the hoods, and the hood areas. And so I got to see a lot of the not so good side of LA, but also there's good side as well. The same in the hoods is like good, and then there's bad, but there's a different vibration to that. Most of the time the hoods, like the neighborhoods, are related to it has a negative connotation to it. So it's like automatically when you say it's like the hood, it's like, the mind automatically just turns into a negative state of mind. And and it's because of the bad reputation that comes with it nowadays. And it seems to be more, the hood is more of a state of mind type of energy, or type of thing, where it's like I think there was a famous rapper, that's Tupac, a famous rapper, once said, everyone has a little bit of hood in them, which is in every class and in every section of their life. That hood area could be and relate to in different ways. It doesn't necessarily have to be that you live in. It's just the state of mind one is in, or it's a vibe type, and it doesn't have to always be that. But no one's perfect, so we might have, a little bit of hood. It might come out of us when we get angry, or we smash our toe, we get like frustrated or upset or whatever, and then sometimes that not so good side comes out, and fortunately, that's a connotation, that's a negative, or that's a vibration that's being emanated, so that's what it is also receiving. But growing up in a place like that, it really kind of it humbles you. It's a really humbling experience, and it can really it's almost a test in oneself, because it's easier. You got easier access to do not so good things. It's easier to go off stray, or stray off the righteous path, or very easy because everything is out and out in the open. Yeah, years ago, I've been healing, been doing energetic healing for some number of years now, and I remember I wanted to do this. This is like, I know it's gonna sound like really bad. I remember when YouTube first started, I really, really, really wanted to get into like this. I know it's been years ago, but at the time it was only like simple videos, and it's like, what? I remember like type of Casey Neistat type videos. And it's like, what? It kind of didn't make sense, at least to me at the time. But it was always entertaining. But I always wanted to, make something that hadn't had been seen yet, like the spiritual side of healing energies into YouTube, but or into social media. And then now it's like, it's a trend. Now it's like glowing and blowing up. Now it's a super trend, and now it's pretty much everywhere, which is like, it looks like it's gone quite a long ways. But also, I got into healing also to pay homage to my superiors, and to pay homage to my teachers, and to keep these old ancient super dope healing techniques, to keep them alive, and to not let them die out. This is one way, like, of me paying homage, not doing it socially, but or on social media, but I'm doing it more publicly. Really getting it out there, especially nowadays when we really need, people need healing in a worldwide, is like a amplified level. So that's one thing I've been working on, and these healing ancient techniques that go back into the Lemurian ancestors, and the essence of where it all came from. So I just wanted to continue them, and modernize them, like I said earlier, to fit nowadays, or to fit this current time. Also, I got into healing because at the time, this is years ago, I needed healing myself. I knew that something was different. I knew that, trying to, put together and trying to do this and that, there was always something going on. And so I got clarity at that time, that were telling me like, oh, you need this, you need that, and this needs to be done. But it's like, I also got into these healings because I wanted to do it myself. They were very expensive, and a lot of these healers, and a lot of these light workers, and a lot of these super bomb energetic healers out there are like so powerful, very good. Like, I met some that are not so good, and I met other ones that are like super dope healers, like energetic. They know their value, and they know their worth, and they know that their super dope healing energy techniques are very pricey, and the majority of them for me are like very expensive. They were very expensive, so I really wanted to do the work. I wanted to do the hands-on, and so and I also heard about these healers, not to throw any shade or anything, but I also heard of these healers that charge like 10 grand and up. Like, that's the minimum is 10 grand is what they would charge, and they deal with high-end rollers, and they deal with like super like wealthy people. And I mean, that's okay. That's that's the level of their price that they're willing to pay. And me at the time, I'm like, no, I don't got that. I don't got that type of money. I don't got that type of I'm not set like that to be able to appreciate and to be able to work with energy like that. So I kind of looked at it more like, what about the rest of us? What about the ones that like are hard workers, the ones that work every day, the ones that maybe might make minimum wage, or even are on and off between jobs? Or like, what about us? Like, just because one is a hard worker doesn't mean that we can afford it. And different healers have different prices. Again, not all healers sell high end. Some of them. So I also seen some powerful energetic healers as well that really charge like are really reasonable. And so not everyone has different prices, depending on what kind of work they do. But the prices that I have is for like an everyday type of person, where You can purchase a week, you can purchase a month or a couple weeks or even a couple months, or hey, if you're lucky enough, or if you're blessed enough to subscribe to me and pay a year's worth, that's, that would be super awesome. And just know that you will get that on a daily basis. That energy will be provided to you. That's a huge responsibility that I'm willing to take, for a whole year. My healing techniques that are on my website will be provided to you, whichever one you purchase, whether it's a week, whether it's a month, whether it's a couple weeks, whether it's a year. So, and again, it's not necessarily my energy healings don't necessarily last a week. It's usually like a week and a couple of days, and it's always like extra. There's always like energy that lingers on, but that depends on the person. That depends on your lifestyle, how you are as a person too. But that's something that I'll get more in depth with the more time goes along. So what are my beliefs? My beliefs are I do believe in karma. I do believe in of course, karma it's a huge topic, and it's like, man, it's a very deep topic. But just to keep it surface level, I do believe in karma, or what karma is known generally, which is like what goes around comes around. If you plant seeds of goodness and of righteousness, then you will receive those seeds of goodness and righteousness in return 10 times fold. If you plant seeds of negativity, if you plant seeds of hate and envy and jealousy, then you will get those seeds sown back to you. It's what you emanate, what we send out to the universe, what we send out in prayer, what we send out to God, what we send out is what we're going to receive. And so I'm a very, very strong believer in karma. To the universe, what you send out is what the universe gives back. And that's something that a lot of teachers and gurus will also resonate with. I do resonate with Christ consciousness, with or a lot of people call him Christ, Jesus Christ, but I prefer the energy and the vibration of Yeshua, which is a modern way of saying his name. Yeshua really resonates with me. I am not religious, though I did, grow up in a religious home, in a strong Catholic religious home. And I'm not religious, but I'm more spiritual as well. If you're tuning in and you're listening to this, more of a scientific mind, more of a rational mind, and that's okay. It's all for growing and empowering. I also like to acknowledge and accept that even atheists are welcome. But I know that there's also people, as I have friends that they don't believe in they're not atheists, but they're not also religious or spiritualist. They're more of an agnostic. No one's gonna get turned away for what their beliefs are, and no one should be bashed. It's just differences of beliefs, and again, it's nature versus nurture. It's a spirituality, or I shouldn't say versus, but it's spirituality and religion. It's all one and the same, just different categories. That's it. And so I pride myself in being very honest and speaking my truth. And I'm a very honest individual, and I'm a very straightforward individual. I love honesty, and so I'm not gonna be BSing anybody about this and that, or no, because this is a serious matter. Healing, to me, I take healing as a serious matter. So my next question is why I won't sell my healing as a product. When you purchase any of my healing energies, it's not that you're gonna receive like a product by mail. You're not gonna receive it by mail. But it's you're receiving the energy that I'm gonna be working with through your name and your date of birth. But a first name, middle name, and last name, and a date of birth is always more energetically more powerful. So I work energetically. Where I say that I work energetically is like what you pay for, you will get in return. So it's like when you purchase one of my products, is you will receive it energetically. Why don't I sell product itself? Because in the past, the product itself to the homes, and they would do their own work, and they would do the energy healing themselves. So we would just provide them for them to do the work. But the thing with that is that we would constantly get phone calls and messages in return back, and oh well, and the instructions would be in the product itself. Instructions in whatever language they chose to, they would get the instructions. But since it was always so complicated, because they were single moms, or they had busy lifestyles or single dads, and they had, businessmen, or they had, a family to look after, and they had, this, and they had the kids, and they had the this and the that. And so a lot of that, piled up. They had too much on their plate. So I noticed, where I say I modernize it is where I'm doing the work. I'll be able to do the work for you. And that's where the trust comes in. That's where the faith comes in. Am I really going to do the work? Absolutely. Why? Because I don't want nobody else's negative karma, or I don't want that kind of karma in my life. I know that if somebody pays for one of my healing energies, is they're paying for a service. And if I don't provide that service, then I know that energetic karma and the spiritual karma and the physical karma will come back to me. And so I don't want that to come to me. I'm already in a state of mind. I'm already in a place in my life where I don't want no more negative drama in my life. And so, yeah, like Mary J. Blige, right? So it's more like, yeah, I don't. It's a trust, faith based type of energy exchange, because you having that faith and the trust to buy it adds a lot, adds more power to your healing, to whatever you're going to buy, to whatever you're going to purchase. It adds you having faith. A lot of religions talk about how we must have faith. If you have faith and if you have trust that you will receive it, you will receive it. And it just enhances those energies, and it just makes it much more powerful. You, as a buyer, or the person that buys it, having faith, having trust that they will receive that energy exchange, makes that healing much more powerful, makes that healing much more greater. And the angels and the higher vibrational energies, they see that. They see what's going on behind the scenes. And so another thing is, I also saw that it was more of a waste of time when we were selling and sending the product to their homes, and because it was a waste of time, and it was a waste of money, because ultimately they would call in and say, oh, I want my money back, or I didn't do this right, why am I not receiving this, why, there was always like something that always went wrong, and it was always, why this, why, it was so many issues, so many problems, that I just kind of felt the need to do the work for you. As a healer, me, and particularly as a person, I'm very meticulous when it comes down to, my work, any type of work that I do, whether it's like a 9 to 5 or anything that they put me in. I'm always meticulous, and I'm always like I try to do my best, as the best as I can, so that I won't have to go in again and over and redo my work. So I'm very meticulous, especially when it comes down to my spiritual work. I know that I can do that for you in exchange of, the product of you, purchasing, whatever it is you're going to purchase. And so it's like I feel more comfortable knowing that, the materials that are very pricey and can be very expensive, are not going to get thrown away, are not going to get, trashed, or are not going to get put to the side. Pretty much a normal thing, especially when you live a 9 to 5 and you have a lot going on, you have a lot on your plate, and you just don't have time, to, do this or to do that. I mean, we might have more time nowadays because of COVID, but, I get it, where it's like, man, I just need to do this, or I need to concentrate on my work, or, this type of energy healing work, I'll do it later. Or, sometimes even other healers like myself, or we don't have even time for our own selves. We're so busy manifesting, let's say, for others or for ourselves, that we kind of tend to forget, like, oh man, I was supposed to do this, or I was supposed to do that type of healing. And there's other healers that are so busy every day on a daily basis, and that's they dedicate their lives to working on other people like that, and giving them clarity and helping them out. And so that with that comes a lot of responsibility too. And a lot of energy healers have lives and have families, and so they don't have time to do this, and that's understandable. Hence why a lot of the businesses in fast foods are like skyrocketing, because it's a quick fix type of vibe. And so it's like, why? Because families are constantly in a run from one situation after another. Man, sometimes when you do get that little time to yourself, you're just done. I mean, for the day, you just want to chill, lay down hot tea bath and take your feet off the ground and just want to be in your own vibe, in your own energy, and your own, do your own thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. And so, and in this case, I just kind of it's like taking another burden, or not, I shouldn't say taking another burden. It's just like me doing the work for you. The way I looked at it is like I manifest on my own on a daily basis. Why wouldn't I do that for somebody else that needs help and that needs positive energy? So I looked at it as a win-win situation. The difference, and it doesn't have to be from, specifically for me. There's so many tons of dope healers out there. Just the difference is that every healer emanates a different frequency, and it has a different vibe to them. The thing with my energies, it just has my vibration, my flavor, my sabor. It has my essence in it. So if you vibe with me and if you resonate with me, you will also receive that type of energy, because that's the type of vibe that I put into it. So one last thing, I had to choose. I have a whole list here. I see that there's more that needs to come out, then I'll be bringing out. For instance, these are the ones that I'm working on. These are the top 3 that I made. Was like I think I titled it in my website Healing Light Energy. That's that just deals with healing any aspect of your mind, of your body, and your soul, just to enlighten oneself, your higher self. I'll talk about more about that. The second one I chose was Love and Light. The most popular one that you hear around. A lot of people hear around, sending you love and light. But this is like actual, like literal love and light. And you will feel it in a soul level. You'll feel it in your mind and you feel it in your body. So that's the second one I chose. And I'll explain that in other videos, what that's about more in detail, the love and light. The third one I chose is the Revitalize and Rejuvenate. That's another one that I think it's more another popular one, because of the way we are living in, especially these times, could be a little draining. Being sick can take you down, in depression, being locked up, being cooped up, because of COVID, can really do damage on us and can really bring our morale down and our emotions. It can really mess with our emotions, with our mind and our soul at the same time, just bring us really down. And sometimes even lead to depression. That's another thing I'll be getting into in more detail. But the Revitalize and Rejuvenate is just to revitalize your energy, to give you that super revitalized feel constantly. So if you're living a fast life, fast-paced type of life, this is just going to keep you up in the up and just feeling youthful again. So part of the list I'm going to go down real quick is calling in a soulmate. That's another one. Is good health, of course, that just says it all. Another one is peace, love, and harmony. Another one is cleansing. I got a good health. I got another one, prosperity and abundance. To bring in good luck, good money, and prosperity and abundance. Good luck, that's another one. To bring in good luck into your life. Another one I got is career and finances. That's just to amplify or to keep your career and finances keep going, and to attract, career, or to in your career and finances to attract more money into your career and finances. Another one is positive vibes. That's a type of work that you'll be emanating positive vibes, or maybe you might know somebody that needs to be emanating that positive vibes. Another one is a road opener. That's just like when you feel that your parade is getting rained on and you just need clarity, and you just need to. Road openers just opens up the paths for you to receive this, that, and the third. I'll clarify more on that. Another one is healing addictions. It's for the ones that really don't want to be addicted to anything, that's healing addictions. Another one is sexual passion. If that's the one I'm iffy about, I'm not too quite sure. I will look into that one more in depth. That are on my website. These are the prices that I'm offering, which are a reasonable price. But yeah, just if anything resonated with you, I hope that you got more clarity on who I am as a person and what I'm, actually selling. And I just want you to know, I'm just gonna go on a brief commercial break. I'm sending you spiritual hugs and kisses.